us this evening. My name is Buffy McFadden. I am a candidate for Pueblo County Commissioner in District 2. We have 2 open county commissioner seats in this race, and I'm proud to be a candidate on the Democratic Party ticket. I had the opportunity to serve our community for 8 years at our Colorado State Legislature. While I was there, I was able to chair Transportation and Energy. And after earning the respect of my peers, I was able to go on and become Speaker Pro Tem of the Colorado House. It was quite a feat just to get into office back in 2002. Pueblo County hadn't elected a woman Democrat to the state legislature since Betty Kirk West won in 1964. In a county that often considers itself primarily Democrat, it was awesome to finally have some women Democrats in the legislature. Representative Butcher and I were elected in 2002 to close that drought of women Democrats in the legislature. I don't believe I'm known as someone who is willing to shy away from tough issues. And whether you're here in our county or our state, we know families are hurting. While at the state legislature, I was able to battle Aurora and pass a water quality legislation to ensure that we could consider water quality when transfers of water happen in Colorado. It wasn't an easy battle. It was signed into law right here in Pueblo, Colorado. And I'll tell you, it took about 20 years to pass that piece of legislation. I believe in solving problems and being available to people to solve those problems. After having a few David and Goliath fights, we went on to ensure that we had the Massari Arena built at CSU Pueblo, Senator Abel Tapia and I. I was honored to fight and get that one final vote to bring it home. We built a state forensics unit here at Pueblo to ensure safety of our workers and those clients we treat. I am humbled to have passed the Charles Mather Act, the act to ensure that we can allow photo radar in construction zones to ensure the safety of those men and women working for the state. And while in office, I worked to ensure the public safety of correctional officers, not only here but throughout the United States when I took on the federal government, along with 2 officers from ADX at Florence. I will close by saying, and I think I can speak for everyone in this room, that our thoughts are with Sergeant Mary Rickard's family, as she was brutally murdered this week serving her state at the Arkansas Valley Correctional Facility, and that we wish our prayers to their family and also to Lori Gam, who's still, I believe, in critical condition here in Pueblo. I'm honored to be your candidate. My name is Buffy McFadden.
Okay, we'll now have opening remarks from Debbie Rose.
Good evening. I wish to thank the Pueblo Chieftain 2020 Commission and Pueblo Community College for this opportunity to participate in this candidate forum. I am Debbie Rose, and I am running for Pueblo County Commissioner to focus on creating jobs in Pueblo. Growing up, my parents owned a restaurant. The whole family had to pitch in and work to make the business successful. There were times that our family struggled, bad weather or unexpected repairs, but somehow we worked through it. From this experience, I understood the value of hard work and the importance of a close-knit, strong community. For when things seemed the bleakest, others were there to help us. Thus, my desire to give back to Pueblo. I am from Pueblo, hometown through and through. I was born here, grew up here, and raised my children here. I know Pueblo's strengths and the local issues because I live them every day. I have more than merely lived in Pueblo County. I have also been very active in numerous local organizations, serving in leadership roles, have run a successful business for over 30 years, and have served in 2 elected positions, District 70 Board of Education and San Isabel Electric Rural Cooperative. From all these experiences, I have firsthand knowledge of job creation and the challenges facing small business in Pueblo County. I have managed multi-million-dollar budgets, taking District 70 from a $2 million deficit to a $10 million surplus. During my time on San Isabel Electric, rates have remained stable for over the past 3 years. I am prepared for the full-time job of Pueblo County Commissioner. I have attended and participated at commissioners' meetings for years. Because I intend to represent everyone in Pueblo, during the past few months, I have visited with various groups, such as the East Side Commission, taxpayers groups, unions, members of Move On, NAACP, to find common ground and learn all the sides of the issues. I have found our children's future is the common thread between the citizens of Pueblo County. With 1/3 of our children living in poverty today, I am also concerned about our kids. My focus, if elected, will be creating jobs, balancing the budget, business-friendly policies, and being accountable to you, the taxpayers, and advocating for seniors, veterans, and especially our kids. Throughout this campaign, I have been overwhelmed with the positive support, financially and through activities, from all walks of life. Seniors on fixed income, like Mercy Romero, who squeezed out a few $10 donations because she believes in Pueblo and she believes of my commitment to the residents. To sum it up, I have local leadership experience with multi-million-dollar budgets, local and state leaderships, education, judicial, business, and the know-how to create jobs. Most important, I have broad-based support from all walks of life in Pueblo. I am from Pueblo. I have and will continue to serve Pueblo. I am passionate about Pueblo. I am Debbie Rose, and I am for Pueblo. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now begin the question and answer portion of our program. Buffy, you'll answer this one first. Commissioner candidates for years have talked about extending the half-cent sales tax for economic development county-wide. What is your position on that?
It's a rather simple belief that we created the half-cent sales tax back in 1981. I believe it went to a vote. We started utilizing it in 1982. By my calculation, we've spent about $300 million utilizing the half-cent sales tax over the years. I do believe in the half-cent sales tax, but like anything else, we need to look at the model. Is the model working? I do believe we can improve upon the model, come into our time, so we can utilize the half-cent sales tax, if we're going to do it countywide, to utilize it for local businesses and also incoming businesses. We need to invest in our amenities as well. We can't expect companies to stay in Pueblo based solely on the half-cent sales tax, because if the business model is predicated on the tax credit, they'll leave after the tax credit expires. We also need to work in conjunction, like our community did with PWAG, to bring in and utilize our enterprise tax zone credit. The state legislature is looking to change how we do business with the state enterprise zones. We need to make sure companies are following the law when they receive taxpayer dollars. We need to ensure that the companies that come to Pueblo to receive the half-cent sales tax keep and do what we expect when they receive the funding. A model that essentially supplies $10,000 per job is outdated, and we need to improve upon that model. I will support the half-cent sales tax and consider it countywide, but we need to change the model for today.
Debbie?
As far as there's already the tool in place that the Pueblo County Commissioners can use, if a company is looking at locating in the county, they can request a reduction in taxes for a period of time for that job creation. So there is already that tool in place. As with any tax, I would be very concerned because our community is struggling at this point with the over 11% unemployment and many of our residents out of job and in fact giving up looking for jobs. So that would be a concern of looking at expanding that tax out in our area. For instance, San Isabel Electric, the reason that we have worked really hard for internal efficiencies is because we knew people were struggling. And so that is where we've been able to keep our rates flat for over the past 3 years, because we looked at how can we do things internally better to make sure that that works. As far as with the businesses, I think let's look at what can we do better in services for these businesses so that they can actually come in and get started up with less impact as far as to them initially.
Buffy?
Thank you, Mr. Henson. When you're considering a half-cent sales tax, no one would ever consider that lightly. It would have to go to a vote of the people. You cannot raise taxes in Colorado without a vote of the people. But I believe we need to focus on ensuring that we create jobs in all parts of our county, not just designated in the city of Pueblo. We need to ensure that we can look at creating jobs in Colorado City, Rye, Beulah, Boone, Avondale, Pueblo West. And that's why, with looking at a better model, I'm willing to consider a county-wide half-cent sales tax.
Well, it's very, very fortunate that we have been creating jobs. Colorado City, a brand new industry that relates in dog food, is coming through, bringing some employment to that area. They've taken over the old Columbia House, and so it's got a valuable use. Pueblo West is able to recruit jobs also in their region through the support of the county commissioners. So that's truly the job, is that relationship with all of the various areas of this Pueblo County to interact, talk with them, and make sure that you know what the need of that particular community is and what they are looking for their enhancement. Go to them, ask them what they want support with, and that's the job of the county commissioner, to be able to support those other governments if they want the jobs in that region and what kind of jobs that they would like to have.
Okay, Debbie, you'll field this question first. Substantial work needs to be done on county roads, especially in Pueblo West. How would you address that?
Well, considering I live in Beulah and I drive on county roads a lot, I think I have a firsthand experience of those roads. But first of all, Public Works does have already a calendar of road improvements. And so what they've done is scheduled out when are the roads that are designated to be repaired and fixed, and that's set out in a calendar. That needs to be revisited just to make sure that it aligns with where our growth is at. So first, review that long-term plan to make sure that it remains relevant with what's going on with community safety. That will be a top priority. Also, working through the budget, making sure that it's efficient in every possible realm, so that could possibly free up some other dollars. As far as with Pueblo West, they actually now have an opportunity that they can go to their citizens if they want. That would be their choice, to add a mill to address some of their road improvements if they wanted it on a speedier calendar. Also, individuals, if they want in their neighborhood to pave the roads in front of their house, they can agree to an increase in their own personal taxes for that road if they want. So there's some options that outside of just the county commissioners coming and fixing your road. I know Pueblo West is also looking at some dust coat treatment that really does a better job in the driving on the roads, containing the dirt and gravel roads, and so they're doing some pilots. So let's help and work with Pueblo West, as might make more sense to have these dirt and gravel roads than a chip seal road, which they have now that's falling apart. And so all of that is look at new process. Let's talk with staff and see how we can make things better.
Thank you. Any economic development plan includes quality public roads and highways. Pueblo County is literally responsible for over 1,200 linear miles of roads, and we need to ensure that there is confidence from the voters that they know we're not using a good old boy system to pick and choose which roads we fix and maintain. We need to have statistical and quantifiable data utilizing a schedule and prioritize road projects using statistical grading and safety data processes. It's fairer than an good old boy system. Maximizing county funds. We need to collaborate with the state and the federal government so that ancillary and primary and connecting roads in the city, county, and state bridge projects would also be considered in the prioritization process. We need to maintain flexibility with defined emergency criteria